We're going to get started in just a few minutes. We're going to officially get started in a few minutes to see if a couple more people join us. And then I'm going to have Tanya turn my video camera on and we'll get right into it.
Hey, Flo, you should be able to start your camera.
Okay, thank you. Good evening and welcome to the 2021 Extended Learning Session briefing. My name is Florence Malone and I'm the Outreach and Enrollment Manager. And so thank you for joining us this evening as we discuss our 2021 Extended Learning Session plans. So I want to start off with a welcome. We do have our wonderful Executive Director with us, Shara Fisher-Jackson. Shara, would you like to say anything?
Just a thank you to all of our providers who are really our partners in the Preschool Promise Initiative. Thank you for joining us tonight, and thank you for always being such a wonderful part of our team. And we're excited tonight to share with you new things that are happening in the upcoming months and how we get started to continue to deliver on the promise. So thank you for joining us.
And so I do want to do an introduction of our CPP team, just in case any of our providers are new, and this is your first time being with us. You may not be aware of everybody and who they are and the role we play. Starting to my left, I think everybody left, we'll start with our Executive Director, who is Shara Fisher-Jackson. Next, we have our Finance Director, Hector Polanco. We have Lakisa Ely, who is our Marketing and Community Engagement Manager. We have Kenidra Mathis, our Program and Evaluation Manager. Myself, Florence Malone Crump, as I said, I'm the Outreach and Enrollment Manager. We have Brittany Pina, she is our Quality Improvement Manager. Sydney Gardner, she's our Promise Team member. We also have Tanya Duvall, our Senior Administrator. And we don't have her listed, but we also have Laura Core, our contractor. She works with us through Preschool Promise in our communication. Some of you all may be familiar with her. Some of you may not. She's reached out to a couple of you guys for stories. And so Laura Core, we do want to acknowledge her as well because she helps our team flow with regards to communication. So we appreciate everybody. So I'll give our team a hand. Yay! So we'll be just going over a few things that everyone needs to be aware of. I'll start off with highlights of re-enrollment. This year, for the 2021 to 22 school year, we are going to be doing our re-enrollment in our ELS form together. So when you receive those forms, remember that those forms are combined this year. So last year, I know it was a lot of confusion because we had two separate forms. We had forms for the ELS program, and then we have forms for the re-enrollment. This year, it's one form. Those forms will be sent out starting April the 5th. You will receive them electronically, but you will also receive them hard copy. So we want to make sure that everyone has all the forms that they need. So you'll receive your re-enrollment form, will receive your extension agreement contract. This year, you will also in that packet receive ELS FAQ with all the information on there, and you will receive the provider extension form as well. The program year will begin, and I'm sorry, I do have a typo here, and I do apologize on that. No, it's right. The program year for re-enrollment, I'm sorry, will begin in August. That date is still to be determined yet, but it will end at regular scheduled time, which will be May the 31st. Next slide, please. Open enrollment. Open enrollment will begin May the 10th. New applications for the 2021 to 22 program year will be available starting May the 10th. And I want to make just a note of that because Usually what happens every year is we change the dates on the application. So if you send an application in prior to May the 10th and it's not this year's application, we're not going to be able to take that application because the information has to be updated with regards to the year and with regards to any changes that are being made. The provider extension form will be sent out. As I said, it'll be in your packet. So you should already have that. I'm asking that the provider extension form, and what that is for you all who are new and don't really know what that is, the provider extension form says, yes, I want to continue my tuition assistance relationship with Cincinnati Preschool Promise. So I'm going to need that form back by August the 3rd. The provider annual meeting will be either April 26th or May the 6th, and you must attend one of those meeting sessions. So April the 26th will be an evening meeting, and then May the 6th will be afternoon, because I know sometimes during nap time works better for some of the providers. So we're going to give you guys two options. No, you should have not received your provider extension form as of yet. Now, there are some people who are sending provider extension forms in as of now. And the reason why, so if you got a call saying we didn't have it, it's because we didn't have your last year's provider extension form. And so because of everything that was going on with the pandemic, we want to make sure that everybody's in compliance. So some of the providers have received calls saying, hey, we need your provider extension form, but that's actually the program year that we're in. So the new extension forms have not went out as of yet. You will be receiving them on the 5th with your extension learning session agreement and your re-enrollment documents. Next slide, please. All right, so we're going to get right into it here. We're going to talk about what is the ELS program? Well, the ELS program, I'm sorry, give me 1 second here because my computer is acting up for some reason. I'm sorry, all my stuff is blurred together here. Give me 1 second here. I have some stuff going on with the computer. I do apologize. Give me 1 second here. I got 50 different screens coming up and closing. Technology at our best, so I do apologize. All right, so I'm sorry, something was going on with my screen here. So the first question we had is, what is the ELS? The ELS, the Extended Learning Session, is an opportunity for Cincinnati Preschool Promise children to make up lost classroom instruction time due to related issues that include community providers closure, families barriers, interruption of instruction and attendance. Our next question we have on here, our next bullet point, and my screen is tripping again. What are the dates for the ELS program? The ELS program is going to run from June the 1st to around August the 23rd. The only way that that end date will change is if we get an earlier date from CPS, then we may have to move it up. But we like to run it consecutively as close as we can to the beginning of school day. You know, it may end a little bit earlier, and if so, we will send out notification for that. Who is eligible for the ELS program? At this current time, we're going to do it a little bit different than what we did last year. Returning students are the only students that are currently at this time eligible for the program. So in other words, in order for a student to participate, they had to be previously enrolled with the tuition assistance program. Which providers can participate? The providers that can participate in the program are our tuition assistant providers who have 3, 4, or 5-star rated. And I say that because if you are a provider that previously had 3, 4, or 5-star rated for us, but if you still have students in our program, for example, maybe you're not at the same star rating, but you were at that particular star rating, you had students and the students are with you now, you will be able to participate, or your students will be able to participate in the program. What forms are needed? In order for you to participate in the program, you have to sign the extension learning agreement form. And we have that form, so you all will be able to see an example of that form. You will have to get back to us the re-enrollment extended learning form, and I'll be showing an example of that form as well. And so that form, you have to be very careful to make sure that you check that you want your child to participate in the ELS program. So when you get that form, if the child is only going to come to ELS, you want to check that box. If the child is going to do re-enrollment, you want to check that box. And if the child is going to do both, then we need to make sure that both boxes are checked. But along with that, those two forms, any updated information with regards to the child. So in other words, if the address has changed, or if the income is expired or something like that, or if the PFCC is expired, you want to get us updated information, because we need all of that in order for the child to participate in the program. How do families enroll for the ELS program? As I said, this year we will actually be sending the providers the forms. Last year we sent the forms out to the parents, but this year we'll be sending it out to the families. I'm sorry, we'll be sending it out to the providers. Now, in the case maybe your center is not going to be open for the summer, we do ask that you notify your families as soon as possible that you're not going to be open. And if the families decide that they still want to participate in the program, we will honor their relationship with you. And we ask that you ask the families to call us as soon as possible so we can help them find another summer program or another center that they can participate with during the summertime. What is the attendance policy? Because I know there were some questions around that. Tanya, can you change the PowerPoint for me, please? Let's see here. Okay, so with regards to the attendance policy, it's similar to the policy that we have now. If a student has 3 days of unexcused absence in any month, tuition assistance will be prorated for the remainder of the month. And I want to make sure that we stress unexcused absences. If a provider is ordered by a state agency to close temporarily because of COVID-19 exposure, the student absences will be excused through the end of the month. If there is a mandated statewide or regional closure of the child care program, tuition assistance will not be paid during the extended learning session. No payment will be made for children who attend 0 scheduled days in a given month. I'm sorry, I keep losing my screen here. It's going through some stuff. So as we go through here, this is an example of the FAQ, and this is the frequently asked questions for providers. And mostly everything that I went over is pretty much there. We have a couple additional questions. Can CPP help with recruiting children to enroll in my family child care program or center? And I just put that question on there because that's a general question. So for all the providers who are on the line who don't know, yes, CPP can help promote available preschool seats in your family child care program or center. You just need to send your request to the marketing assistants to marketing@cincy-promise.org. I already answered the question, what should I do if my site will not be open for the summer? As I said, let your families know as soon as possible, and then we'll try to work with your families to help them. And then some examples of the paperwork that we have here. Tanya, can you go to the next screen, please? This is the extended learning session agreement. And so when you see it, I want you to be familiar with it in your packet here. You need to make sure that you sign that form and that you date it. And then what will happen is when you sign that form and send it back to us, I'll sign that form and then we'll put a copy in your record, but we'll also make sure that you get a copy of the completed signed form. Next page, please. This is what our 2021 to 22 re-enrollment extended learning session application form looks like. It will already be populated with the child's name in the child's center. But if your parent needs a blank one because your center is going to be closed over the summertime, please call the office and let us know, and we will make sure that the parent gets a new one. And if you see here on the form, program applying for, check all that applies. You have the 2001 summer extended learning session, and then you have the 2021-22 school year. You have the child name, which the information will already be there. Then you have the address, if different from the current address. Student most recent proof of address. Next page, please. Once again, we're asking for consent to photograph and evaluate your child. The next page here, this is for the provider use only, and this is when we ask what additional funding that the child has. Next page. And then I know some of the parents are saying this is repetitive. We've already filled this out, but we do ask, just in case we do not have one on file for your child, it's important that we have a completed evaluation form. So we do put that in the re-enrollment packet again for the families to fill out, just to ensure that we have one. And then your provider extension form for the upcoming school year. As I said, we ask that that form be completed and turned back to us by August the 3rd. And what basically this says is that, yes, I will be participating with Cincinnati Preschool Promise for the 2021-22 school year. And then we had a couple of questions that came through. And I think I answered most of them, but just in case, one question was how it worked. Is there any additional applications required? No, there's no additional applications other than the one that I sent you, but I do want to stress that it's very important that we receive the extended learning session agreement back. And the reason why, because if we don't have that back, it will delay payment. So we want to make sure that we get that signed and get it back. Let's see, when filling out application, that question came through. When filling out the application, if children are going to kindergarten, parents will only check ELS. Correct. If the child is going to kindergarten, the parent only needs to check the ELS. Who to send children enrollment information to? You want to send that over to info@cincy-promise.org. So the same person that you send it over to with regards to the regular application, that's who you're going to send it to over at our metric office. Some of you all are familiar with Brandy. Is the ELS for all children? No, the ELS is only for children who are returning to the program. So it's not open to all children this year. It's open to previously enrolled children. Will money be available for summer session of preschool? Yes, because that is the ELS program. See, can you guys help me come up with fun learning ideas to implement into my curriculum for the summer? So on May the 27th, we have preschool chat, and we're going to have summer fun learning. Miss Terry England, she's going to be one of the panelists for us, and she's going to be discussing different ideas that we can do over the summer to help our children and our families with education needs. So 3 and 4 year olds. If the 3-year-old is already in the program and is eligible for the upcoming year, yes. So in other words, if the child is in the program now and is going to be a returning student in the fall, yes. So if it's a new 3-year-old, then no, they won't be eligible until next program year. Yes, both 3 and 4 year olds that were previously enrolled are eligible, returning students. Another question, where does it begin and end? As I said, it's going to start June the 1st and it's going to go all the way up into the August. So it's going to be about 10, 11 week program. How many spaces will be offered for ELS? As many students as you have that's returning. So in other words, if you have 21 students in your program that are returning, then 21 ELS spots. Will the paperwork be streamlined, possibly electronically? So as I said, we're gonna send the information out, hard copy through the mail, US Postal, and we're gonna send it out electronically over the metrics, and you can send it back. No, it won't be online, so the parents won't be able to fill it out online, but you can send it back, scan it over, or upload it through the internet. See, I use Waterford in my program. It's been awesome on top of what I teach. Okay, good, yay. Do we enroll new students for the fall at this time as well? No, open enrollment does not begin until May 10th. So we're going to start off doing re-enrollment in ELS first, and then we'll move into new enrollment. And the reason why is because ELS, the only students that will participate in ELS will be previous students or students who are returning for the upcoming year. And so, as I said, I don't know if we have any more questions, but as I said, open enrollment does start May the 10th, and we're going to have our annual provider meeting. We're going to have it on April 26th in the evening, and then I think I gave out that May date. I think I said May the 6th or 10th for our afternoon date, but I will send you all out an email with regards to that, and we will also post it in our newsletter as well to let you know. And as I said, it's required that you come to one of those because we're going over new program rules and new program regulations and everything. And so I'll be looking for your emails. They'll be coming out April the 5th. We'll be sending out all the re-enrollment. And we will also be looking forward to getting the kids ready this summertime and everything. I'm real excited that we're going to be doing this. As always, if you guys need any help with regards to enrollment or talking to any parents or anything, please let me know. I'm more than happy to come by your center and pick up documents if you're having problems with your printers or anything and stuff. I know some of you guys need new signs, so we're going to be working on that in the next week or two. If you do need a new sign or a new banner, please email me. I know Beth, you emailed me today saying that you guys need a sign. I sent you an email back. But if you do need new signs, or if you do need new banners, please email me at fmalone@cincy-promise.org because we're working on getting them out to you guys. No, thank you, providers, for all that you do. CPP, we love you and we appreciate you guys. No, Miss Robin, you attended tonight. You don't see, you don't need to attend both. You do need to attend the provider annual luncheon because this is ELS and re-enrollment. So you do need to send one of the ones in April or May with regards to the difference in the program from ELS to open enrollment. Okay, well, thanks, Ms. Cheryl, for letting me know. I'm glad to see you on the line. Thank you. I appreciate you. And so do we have any more questions? Because I don't want to keep you guys longer than I have to. The meeting is scheduled for 6:30, but I'm straight to the point, said what we had to say. So does anybody else have any more questions? And I'll jump back in. Or Shora, do you have anything else that you would like to make note of?
I always have my hand raised. So in addition to saying thank you again, and I know that the focus of tonight was the extended learning session, re-enrollment and open enrollment, I just want to take the time to remind everyone that we have recruited and have available business advisors specifically for family child care providers or others who may be interested in applying for PPE loans to support your businesses, your sites, the work that you're doing. Please just send me an email or any member of our team an email. You need 5 quick documents and the application process is less than 15 minutes. And we have a member from the Greater Cincinnati Chamber of Commerce who is willing and available to work with you one-on-one to get those applications submitted before the new extended deadline on May 31st. And he has already done so for 5 other preschool promise providers, and he's just looking to share his expertise. So if that's a need that you have, or you're even thinking about it, we don't want you to struggle, right? We're here to help. And we have a dedicated individual to help you support that because you're going to need those resources for all of these preschoolers you'll be helping during the extended learning session. And we want you to be ready. So reach out to me, reach out to Flo, let us know, and we will introduce you to that individual and get you started.
Or anything else, we're going to start. So while I have you guys on the phone, we're going to have a coffee and conversation coming up. So be looking for that date. We're going to be talking with CPS on kindergarten transition and how to enroll children in CPS kindergarten. We did one preschool chat for our parents. Some of the providers expressed that they would be interested in doing one. So we are going to host a coffee and conversation with CPS. And if it's something that you guys would like to talk more about, we have been doing coffee and conversation for all the providers who don't know what that is. And it's just kind of a check-in where we do programming. There's no PE credit with it. PD credit with it, but it's just where we can talk to providers to say, hey, what's going on with you and what do you need? So if you guys have any ideas of things that you would like to discuss during coffee and conversation, please email me that as well. I'm always interested in finding out what you want to discuss and how we can help you. So let's see, is the PPP loan for the first or can you apply for the second loan? I'm going to let Shara answer that.
So both. It is the forgivable loan, the PPE loan that we're doing. The first round ended December 31st. This is a whole second new round that was reauthorized with new government regulation. The initial deadline was extended to March 31st. It's now May 31st. So if you have any questions or just want to be hooked to double check, and even if you didn't get approved during the last round, now's an opportunity to apply again.
Thank you for that information, Shara. So does anybody else have any questions or anything? Shara, is that your hand raised again or is it still raised for the first time?
I'm sorry, let me lower it. I'm a chronic hand raiser, I apologize.
Who qualifies for the loan? I'll let Shara answer that as well.
Any small business, right? There was a small period in which President Biden limited it to people that had employees of 20 or less. That window is now open. Any entrepreneur, any small business, any mid-sized business is open. All of our preschool promise providers are eligible. The question is whether or not you qualify, and it will be an easy process that we can talk to you with this business list or communicate go out early week of the 5 items that you should prepare person. So we can directly connect you.
Can you repeat that? You faded out.
Oh, I apologize. Yes, let me turn my screen off to make sure that I have adequate bandwidth and it's constant. Um, it should be open to every business, particularly small businesses. The regulations of who qualifies are set by the federal government, but we believe that we should at least do an initial eligibility check with all of our preschool promise providers, because very few of you have over 100 employees, right? Or over 200 employees that would disqualify you. What we'd really like to do is make sure that you talk to an individual business advisor to talk about whether or not you qualify and what the potential is, because everyone's situation is unique. And even if you're just interested, we will introduce you to that person for screening. He will work with you one-on-one to see if you're eligible and help you complete your application as well.
See, can we visit having a discussion regarding assistance from CPS on assessments or screenings for IFSP? Yes, we can, Ms. Cheryl, but we also have you can let your parents know. So we also have a preschool chat coming up next in the next 2 weeks, April the 22nd, with regards to understanding assessments. And that one's for parents, but we want our parents to be able to make use of their assessments and their evaluations, understand what the focus of them are and how they use them to help their children. And so we're going to be doing that one, but more than happy to work with Lakisa and Shar to try to see if we can get a CPS representative to come out and talk to us about the assessments or screening for the IFSP. So I will put that on my radar and we'll start working on that in the next 2 weeks and stuff. So yeah, we'll get that going. And so just want to reiterate again, ELS, the information goes out on April 5th. We will be sending electronic copies along with hard copies through the mail. Also want to reiterate that this year is only for returning students. And so with that being said, I just want to remind everybody that we are still doing enrollment. So if you have families that you think may qualify for tuition assistance right now, please submit their applications. Submit their applications so we can try to get them enrolled in the program. And even if you think it may not qualify, because you may be surprised, they may qualify, we want to get them in. So then that way, once we get them in, they'll qualify for the summer program. See, hey Flo, what is the purpose of the application? What is the process? Okay, I'm marking it down here for the application for staff payment. I don't know if we have Kenidra on the phone, so I think you're talking about the staff support fund. Is that what you're talking about, Miss Jenna? I tell you what we'll do a coffee and conversation on that. Okay, yes, we'll do a coffee and conversation on that as well, because the staff support fund, at least my wonderful executive director, want to take that away as well. And that's actually for QI providers, but I'm quite sure I can tell you a little bit about it.
Absolutely. So the staff support fund was created to make sure that our QI providers could have some support for the work that they were doing. And the staff support fund offers funds for providers per site, not for teachers individually. And those funds can serve three purposes: to augment salaries, to provide benefits, or to recruit and retain teachers. And so each quality improvement provider who is in good standing and has an active coaching plan is eligible for up to $3,000 per lead teacher for the site to implement an initiative that is aligned with one of those three things: recruitment and retention, equitable wages, benefits for staff.
And as I said, that is a QIR program, but at the same time, hey, you all may know some people who may be eligible for the program. And so we're more than happy to do something with regards to that as well, just so you can be more informed. So that's something you all want to know more about. For our TA providers, we have our Teacher Promise Grant. So I have a child, date of birth 10/28/17, Is she eligible for the summer program? No, she would have had to be 3. And look, my mind is working. My number. Look, I'm not a genius when it comes to these numbers, but yeah, she would have had to be already in the program. She won't be eligible until next year's program, I believe. Yeah, I'm saying it right. So she'll be eligible for the fall with tuition assistance. Now, by some chance, if you don't get your paperwork far as your re-enrollment applications or far as your extended learning agreement, please let me know because as I said, we must have that signed paperwork back in order for you to participate in the extended learning session. We must have the provider extension form back in order for you to participate in enrollment next year. So those are the two things. Other than that, guys, this has been fun. I miss coming to some of y'all center and seeing you guys. Hopefully we'll be able to get out. Let's see, if a child turns 3 in April, can they apply? And they cannot apply to the summer program, Miss Jenny, but they can apply for next school year. No, thank you, Nicole. We appreciate you guys when you give us your time and ask questions. We love answering your questions because what it does, it gives clarity to our program, but sometimes it also gives clarity to us on what we need to do for as correcting or making it better for you guys. So it's all great. Yes, Latoya, you stay well and healthy too. No problem, Miss Janet. And do we get tuition assistance for summer program? You get the extended learning session, which is what we're doing for. This is a one-time thing. We did it last year, and the board and our executive director, Shara Fisher Jackson, felt like it was needed for this year. And so I want to stress that because summer program is not something that Cincinnati Preschool Promise paid for, but because of the circumstances, they are allowing us to do the extended learning session. And so that's why it's only for returning students this year. So you will get tuition assistance for your returning students that are in your program as of now, even if they're going to kindergarten. Okay, so if there are no more questions, I'm going to give you guys some of your time back.
I have a comment, Flo. I'm sorry. I just wanted to I want to say thank you to everyone, but I want you guys to pay special attention to the dates that were given by Flo. It helps us, our team, move a little more fluidly if everything is in on time and and it gives us a chance that if there's a mistake or anything, we can get back to you guys before the deadline.
Thank you for mentioning that, Sydney. Lynn, okay, because I did want to start charging my parents in June. Thank you. Yes, and so let me just talk about that a little bit. What we did in the past, but last year was a new year for everybody. Usually, what we do at the end of the year, we send out letters to parents letting them know that they will begin to start receiving charges for us copayment if that does happen. But because of the way it's structured this year, as I said, when you get that re-enrollment form / ELS form, if you check both of them, then it should just roll right over because we're going to cover the co-payment for the parent during the ELS session as well. So with that being said, if that is the last question, and as always, any of you, please feel free to contact me by phone. Most of you guys have my number and know how to reach me or my email. Please don't hesitate to call me. If I don't get back to you immediately, I will get back to you. If you have any other questions, no more questions, I'm going to go ahead and let everybody go back to enjoying their evening. Thank you for listening in. If you know somebody who says, I didn't get a chance to listen in, we will be having another ELS session on the 8th. We'll be doing it at 12:45. So if you know any other provider and they say, hey, I wasn't there for the ELS session, just let them know that we sent out a registration link for April. I'm already ready in August, for April the 8th as well. Thank you so much, and everybody have a good night.